Put your hands together and help us welcome to the stage, Guerra!
How's it going? Let's change it up a little. Y'all ready? Yeah. Y'all want to stand up? We gotta wake up. I was falling asleep over there. Come on, stand up. All right. Look to your right, look to your left, and give someone a hug. Come on. Do it. All right, guys. Thank you. Let's change it up. Let's get started. I want to thank Ricardo first for putting this event on. It's awesome. Yeah, I'm super impressed. I've been taking notes. I'm learning from everybody. These are like the best speakers ever, right? Man, give them a round of applause. Oh my God. I didn't know if I wanted to come up here no more after that. I normally don't get nervous, right? Anyways, yeah, shaking like you, right, President? I'm shaking. Hey, I'm gonna tell a little story. I'm gonna jump around back and forth. You know, I've been doing real estate for about 20 years. Someone stole my stuff, right? It's cool when you hear other speakers and then they say stuff. Someone came up here and talked about Carl Sheets. Anybody know that? I'm kind of dating myself, right? So I was watching TV, you know, late night TV. I was, you know, fixing to graduate. And I saw a guy come on TV and he was like in front of all these fancy cars and he had the yacht and everything, and he was talking about something. He was talking about residual income. Y'all heard of that? Residual income, financial freedom, you can have all this stuff, rental properties, right? Anybody have rental properties in here? All right, I feel sorry for you, not just saying. No, I realize if you have rental properties and you know what you're doing, you probably already made it, right? Because that's the reason you get rental properties, so you can have depreciation, losses, things like that when you're making lots of money, right? So you guys have lots of money already with those rental properties. But I didn't know that, right? So when I first started, you know, right out of high school, I did go to college. I tell people I went to school for 14 years, then I went to college, right? Some of you will get that in a minute. So I wasn't the smartest person. You know, for me, a D was like super good, so I was like an A, you know? And I did fail preschool, I think kindergarten, second grade twice. But what I learned is that I was different, you know, from everybody else, you know, and that's why I have a group called the 1% Club, because everybody up here on stage is different, right? Everybody's crazy. We're all crazy. We're the 1%, right? We do what nobody else is wanting to do, right? And so I have a group, it's called the 1% Club, Everything Real Estate, and we help and teach people not to do the mistakes that we did, right? So I've been doing it for 20 years, so I know everything about what not to do, okay? And then I'm gonna show you how to get what you want, because we've been doing this a long time, and I know what every single one of you want that's in this room right now. Because you are very different from everybody else. You're not like everybody else out there. What are they doing today? Today's Friday, right? They're either at a job, whatever, or thinking about, you know, thank goodness it's Friday, right? Because then they gotta, you know, do it all over again the next week. But y'all decided to come here today because you wanted to change your life, right? It's 2023, you wanna do something better. And you wanna have financial freedom. You wanna have time freedom. You wanna be able to do what you want when you want. That's why you're here. Every single one of you. Sometimes I didn't know what I wanted, but I knew right away when I saw that show, that cash flow, residual income, mailbox money, bunch of crap, okay? I actually ended up getting a good job, and I worked there for 1 year in a cubicle and realized that is not a good job, right? But back then, if you had good credit, you know, and you had a good job, you can get like whatever you wanted, right? You could go to a bank, get a loan. And so what I'm gonna share with you, I have a little bit of time, but I'm gonna share with you the little shortcuts, the loopholes. Y'all wanna know that? How to get this cash flow, you know, not to do what I did, but what I've done now in the last, you know, few years. And what I did back then is I you know, it's a gray line, you know, you don't go over it, you just hang over it, you know, hold on. But so I went to 10 different banks and got pre-approvals to buy a house, because the first one, I told them I want to buy 10 houses so I can quit my job, and they thought I was crazy. And so they said, you can buy one house. So I went and got pre-approved at 10 different banks, and then I bought 10 houses, and then I quit my job. Okay? So that would have been a good story, right? Quit my job, didn't have to work no more. Met my wife, Olivia. Thank you for always supporting me. She's here in the front row. I couldn't do it without you. Thank you. And I told her to quit her job too, you know, so it was pretty cool. Like, we're living our dreams, you know, for about 4 or 5 months. and then I realized some of the people stopped paying, you know, and some of the people like disappeared in the middle of the night, tore up the house, you know, and things like that. And then I realized that little $200 a month I was making on each home, you know, back then $2,000 was not bad if you don't have anything, you know, no bills or anything right out of school. So I realized that it wasn't gonna work because I was pretty good at math, you know, not all the algebra letter crap, right? But if it comes with like dollars, you know, money and stuff, I can calculate that in my head. So I realized that $200 times 12 months is what, $2,400? So when they move out and you lose that month, at least 1 month, and you gotta paint, carpet, that's if they don't do nothing, you really didn't make anything. So you can't live off of that. So I like figured that out pretty quick. So that one house they tore up, I fixed it up, and I said, I'm out of this. I'm gonna sell everything, you know, I'm gonna do something else. But when I fixed it up and sold it, I made like 40-something thousand. That's a lot of money back then, right? So I was like, man, this is what I gotta do, fix and flip, right? You gotta fix the houses up and sell them. Anybody in here does fix and flips?
Yeah.
All right, so I started doing that. I fixed up a couple of the houses and sold them because you gotta make money, right? How are we gonna eat, you know? We quit our jobs, you know, what are we gonna do? So, you know, I started doing that, and then I realized that as I was doing that, if I'm already rehabbing these whole houses and everything, why don't I just start building houses, right? So I got into new construction and so forth, but I was always still looking for that one thing that I wanted. What every one of you want, right? That residual income, that cash. So I'm not happy just making, someone up here said, making money one time, right? You do a deal, even if you make a lot of money, I made $40,000. What happens next month if you don't do nothing, right? And so I was still chasing that residual income. And so I'm gonna share with you what I figured out is the best way of all the different businesses that I've had. I have 22 right now, 22 different companies, okay? And I tried everything along the way from the dirt, whenever you're gonna build a house, I own 2 sand pits, a 100-acre one, 68-acre one in Pearland, all the way to new construction, hotels, multifamily, everything you could think of, I tried it. But I'm gonna share with you the thing that's gonna change everything for you if you follow what we're gonna say. Some of you are gonna get it, some of you are not gonna get it. And I'm also gonna share with you 2 words today. 2 words that I believe is what's changed everything in my life and what's allowed me to be successful, right? And I think that if you take these 2 words that I'm gonna share with you today and implement them in whatever type of business or whatever you're doing, it's gonna get you to the 10x they're saying, 100x, 300x, right? Even more with very little effort, okay? You're gonna work, you gotta work, right? You gotta work hard, but do you wanna work forever? You could just work hard for a few years and then you can take the rest of your life off, right? How many of y'all know exactly what your passion is? I think someone asked that earlier. How many of y'all know exactly what your passion is today? Raise your hand. There's just a few handful of people, guys. Don't feel bad if you didn't raise your hand. Those people that raised their hand are probably some of the people that were on stage. I know I saw some of y'all, right? I didn't know what my passion was. All I cared about at the beginning is making money. Anybody relate to that? Yes. I just want to make money, right? Hustle, make money. That's all that matters is money. But I'm going to tell you something. Once you make it, and you make a lot of it, it doesn't matter no more. It's not about the money. And eventually, you're gonna find out what you're passionate about, okay? I was very passionate about making money, but now I know what my real passion is. And you know what it was? It was my biggest fear. Those of you that are in real estate right now, if you're not successful yet and you've been doing it for a while, or said that you're doing it, right, but you're really not, it's because of one big thing. What do y'all think that is? Exactly, fear. That's the biggest thing that holds everybody back from being successful, from pulling out the what you really have inside you, you know. Everybody has it, but most people are scared. You know, you have it all within you. Every single one of you that are here today, because like I said before, y'all have what 99% of the other people don't have because they're not in this room, right? You're different. Every single person in this room is different from everybody else. But if you let that fear hold you back, then you're never going to get to your true potential, and then you're never going to find out what your passion is, right? You'll never guess what my fear was. Who thinks they know what my fear was? What was that? Public speaking. Yes. Public speaking, that was my number one fear. I didn't want to be up in front. How many people are scared of public speaking? Raise your hand. There you go, you're just like me, right? You'll be up here pretty soon. So why am I up here? Why am I up here speaking? Besides because Ricardo asked me to come up here and speak, right? I'm up here because I appreciate every single person that was up on the stage today and that is going to be up on the stage for the next 2 days. They changed my life. All these people that were willing to come up here and share what they're doing changed my life. You know, they talked about, you know, all these other speakers that you know, influenced them. Some of the speakers that were up here, you know, they talked about personal development, personal growth, things like that. You know, and when I heard those people or saw those people up on stage, I learned something every single time, even if it's one thing. And over the last 12 years of doing personal development and personal growth, it changed everything for me, okay? And I realized that my biggest fear is my purpose. My purpose is to pay it forward and to help other people and share with them what I've learned over the last 20 years in real estate so that I can give value to you so they can maybe get you there faster, a lot faster. You don't have to take 20 years, 15 years, 10 years. You can do it in 5 years, you know? And I want you to understand that every single one of you in this room, I can relate to you. I relate to all of you. You say you're an engineer, I went to engineer. Only difference is I quit. You know, you kept going, right? You know, there's people in this room that I've heard your stories before. You know, that you know, maybe you were, you know, living in an abandoned building or something like that, right? You know, I didn't live in an abandoned building, but growing up, you know, we were broke. My dad came from Mexico. He didn't know English. You know, we didn't have any money. He was always looking for work. We're on welfare. We lived in a church, you know. We didn't grow up with money. People were like, oh, you know, maybe those people have something that I didn't have, you know, the ability, you know, I can't do it because I have something. Everything that's holding you back is fear and the belief that you can do it. That's why I'm up here today. Because I want you to know that if I can do it, you can definitely do it, okay? You just have to believe in yourself. I had a huge advantage because when I was growing up, you know, my mom, like I said, had to work also, you know, to help out, and she joined a company called Tupperware. Anybody ever heard of that? Yeah. Okay. I thought it was the craziest thing ever. I was like, who comes up with this? You know, Tupperware, if it breaks, you have to like replace it for free for them, right? So she sold this Tupperware, and then it would be like real late. She got back late, and she's like, I'll be right back. I gotta go take this Tupperware to somebody. And I'm like, why? Because they called me that it was broke, that the Tupperware was broken. I have to go replace it. I was like, are you gonna pay for it? Are they gonna pay you for that? She's like, no. I was like, who does that, right? But the one thing that I liked is that she would always be listening to these tapes. I'm dating myself, right? They're like cassette tapes, you know? And it was like Zig Ziglar. Anybody know who that person is? Yeah, you know, yeah. Wrong. I know all these other people. I don't even know the names right now. I forget stuff when I come up here, right? But the point is that was like personal development, you know, and sales and different things like that. And she would listen to it, so I had to listen to them because I'm there, right? So I listened to all these tapes, and I started to like it. And I said, can I borrow those? And I would listen to those in my room. So I started at a young age, you know, to listen to all this stuff. And the crazy thing is that she would always tell me, you can do it. You know, when I brought all these F's, you know, and I would fail and stuff, she was like, you're so smart. You know, she's like, you can do it. They just don't, you're just not good at taking tests or whatever, right? You know, and really because I was always distracted. I would get in trouble, daydreaming, you know, get detention, different things like that. You know, but she always believed in me. My dad believed in me. Everybody, you know, I was fortunate because of that. It's not about money or any of that stuff, right? You know, and my wife, she always believes in me no matter what. I think I'm crazy, but she's like, no, you can do it, you know? So she believes in me too. So if somebody believes in you and tells you over and over and over and over that you can do it, or you buy these tapes and hear them over and over and they tell you can do it, guess what happens if you hear that over and over and over and over? You start to believe it. That's what happened. I started to believe it. And once you believe it, then you can achieve it, right? Sounds corny, right? But I'm serious. This is exactly what it is. And they're like, well, aren't you scared? Scared of what? They're like, how'd you do it? How do you do these things? How do you buy houses without ever looking at them? See, I buy like 2 to 3 houses a week. I never even look at the houses. They're like, what? Aren't you scared? And I'm like, no. See, I started with nothing. So all I had to lose was what? Nothing. I have people, because I do some coaching, I do mentoring, we do stuff for free. You know, we have events once a month. We do like a little networking, training and stuff. It's all free, right? I do that for free, but the thing is, when I'm talking to somebody and I'm trying to help them, you know, get to that next level, I always ask them, and most of the time, they're scared to actually do something in real estate. And then I ask them, well, why are you scared? Well, I'm scared to lose, to fail, to lose. And I'm like, but you just told me you had no money, right? How can you be scared to lose if you got no money? You got nothing to lose, you know what I'm saying? And if you don't try and you don't do it, you already lost. Because you're gonna be in the same exact spot, right? So, I just want you to know that, like I said, no matter where you come from or what happened in your life, I'm not gonna go into details, but I guarantee you everything you're thinking has happened, right? And I've been through that stuff. Most of the people in the room have. We just don't know. Most people don't talk about what has happened in their lives, right? They just talk about the success and the good things, right? I had a lot of failure. I started all these crazy businesses looking for cash flow, residual income. Selling cars, right? You could do a car lot, you owner finance the cars, or you get your residual, didn't work out. Okay? I tried a bunch of stuff and it didn't work out. But I'm gonna share with you what did work out. And right now, and what's happening in the market, the economy, everybody's talking about, they put the charts, you know, the last speaker that was up here and all that, that's really happening, right? Does anybody having trouble selling your fix and flips right now? Like moving them quickly, like they used to? Anybody? Be honest. We know it's slowed down. Yeah, it's slowed down a little bit. What if I told you can sell everything within a few days, no matter what? See, that's what we're doing. We buy houses, we sell them we haven't held a house in more than 1 week. You know why? Because if you know what these speakers up on stage know, then you can have the success that these speakers up on stage have. How do you get that knowledge? How do you learn? They're all giving it to you away for free, right? But I'm gonna tell you that the main thing that has helped me to be successful is these 2 words I'm about to share with you, okay? You ready to write them down? Yeah. You only have to write them down because you're never gonna forget. I'm gonna say it over and over, okay? Because I was gonna do like a whole paragraph of all the different, like the most important things of being successful and everything, and I was like, you're gonna forget everything. 3 days? You know how long this thing is? It's like from 9 in the morning to 9 at night, okay? You're gonna forget. So I had to come up with something that could help you to remember. You don't even have to write it down, you have to do nothing. Now I'm gonna start to speed up as my time starts to run out, so you probably won't be able to write fast. You could record it on your phone or something, right? But when you leave today, I guarantee you that you're gonna remember these 2 words. Tomorrow you're gonna remember them, the next day you're gonna remember them. And if you do, then I did my job, right? Y'all ready? Are y'all ready to know what can take your business to 10x, 100x, 300x? Yes. Y'all ready? Yeah, come on, this is gonna change your life. Do you wanna know how to make $50,000 a month in residual income?
Oh yeah.
$50,000. How long do you think it would take you to make $50,000 a month in residual income? How many years? Anybody?
Wow.
3 years, there you go, right? So this is what I do, you know, like some 10-week mentoring classes a few times a year, and I did one, and I did this on purpose because I don't like to talk about stuff that I haven't already done or that I'm currently doing. So I asked a bunch of students, I was like, how much money do you need a month so that it could pay all your bills, you can have a little bit extra so you can quit your job, and you can focus on what you really want to do, right? Build more cash flow, build more residual income. And the number was around $5,000 a month, okay? I mean, some were 3,000, some were 7,000, 8, right? But do you think 5,000 a month would be okay if you had it coming in every month, month after month, whether you worked or not? Do you think that would change the way you're doing business or how you're doing stuff, right?
Yeah, that would be nice.
So what I did is I wanted to go ahead and 10x it. So I said, look, this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna show you how to make $50,000 $50,000 in pure profit residual income in 12 months. I'm gonna do it. Never done it before, but I'm like, I'm gonna do it. Because if I do it, then it means it's possible. And if I can do it, then it means you can do it. And you know what? I did over $50,000 a month, created pure profit, residual income that comes in every single month directly into my bank account, whether I do anything or not, in 12 months last year, okay? And if I can do that, you could do that. Every single one of you can do that. And I did it doing something different that I hadn't done. I mean, it's still the same concept, but it was a little different, right? But the thing that allowed me to do that and that allows me to help other people and be successful is these two words that I'm about to tell you. Y'all ready? I'm gonna tell you right now. You ready?
Yeah!
All right. Give more. Write it down. Give more.
You're right.
Those of you that aren't clapping don't really understand it, but you'll understand it pretty soon because I'm telling you, once you understand it, Ricardo understands it, right? We went to the restaurant. He was able to raise $7,800 for the waiters, the go-giver, right? I was like, don't take my two words. Good thing is give more, but it's the same concept, right? What does it mean? What does give more mean? Yes, the more you give, the more you get, right? When I figured that out on accident, okay, I'm not gonna lie, it's on accident. I didn't want to give more, I wanted to make more. I wanted to make money, it was all about me at the beginning. Maybe that's why all my businesses failed at the beginning, right? But then I was fortunate enough to learn that the more I give, the more I get. So I made it like on my to-do list. I have to give more every day, right? Anything I'm doing or anything I'm thinking about, I'm gonna give more. And when I started to do that, my entire business changed, life changed, everything you do will change. It doesn't matter if you're an employee right now. What do you think will happen if you give more at your job? What do you think will happen if you get there before everybody else? What do you think will happen if you stay there longer than everybody else? Things are gonna change and things are gonna happen. It seems like it's so simple, but it is. People just don't do it. If you're not successful, it's because you don't want to be successful bad enough, okay? You gotta want it bad enough. If you want to be super successful, like the speakers that are up on the stage and are fixing to come up, you have to give everything to what you want, 100%, no matter what. You can't let anything get in the way. It has to be on your mind 24/7, okay? How did helping people help me? Well, I started to give away half of all my businesses. And when I started to do that, success started to come my way. See, I don't like dealing with employees, it's too hard, right? They don't want it as much as you do. They're never gonna do as much as you're gonna do, right? But what if they own half? Then it's their business, right? So then they're gonna work harder than anybody. So that's what I decided to do. I'm gonna give half of all my companies away and I'm gonna start building more businesses, right? So I met this lady because y'all heard of like residential assisted living, care homes, things like that? Everything falls back on real estate, right? So I was thinking, how do I maximize the most amount of money on these houses without having to rent them? Because I don't like rentals, right? So I heard you could put like up to 16 beds in one house, charge $5,000 a bed. That's a lot of money, right? A month. You ever heard of that? Care homes? Yeah. Okay. So I had a great idea. I was like, I'm gonna open 10 of them in 1 year. And I did, right? Because you set your goals, you hit it, and you do it. But I know nothing about it. See, you don't have to know anything to do it. You don't have to be scared. I don't know nothing about it. But I knew a lady that I met, and she seemed like a good person. And people always ask me, what are you investing in? You know what I tell them? People. Someone up here said we're in the people business, right? Not real estate. Everything they said today is true. Every single speaker that come up here, I just keep hearing it. I'm like, this is exactly what I've been saying. Probably because I came to these events for 12 years, right? And I heard all this stuff over and over, but I did something that only 1% of the people ever do. I implemented everything I learned. right? If you implement what we're sharing with you today, it will change your entire life and your business forever. You'll make so much money that money doesn't even matter. The only thing that will matter is helping other people, okay? I met this doctor named Dr. Brooks. She was being, not paid what she was supposed to, working, 5, 6, 7 days a week, not getting paid what she was worth. I asked her if she would help me to open these care homes. I told her 1 or 2, help me open them. She said, yeah. Guess how much she said she'd charge me? Nothing. She said, oh, you don't have to pay me, I'll help you. I'll help you open it. She helped me open it. What was she doing?
Helping.
She was giving more. She helped me open it, she told me everything to do, then I opened it, I was like, well, don't we have to hire people? She's like, oh yeah, I'll help you. She hired the people, she did everything, she never charged me anything. Once we opened, I met with her and I said, this is the company that we're running in order, these are the operating agreements, and this is the ownership. And I just gave you 50% of the company for free. And you're gonna get half of everything we make. On this home, I said, when we get this home to just break even, we'll open another one and another one and another one. And we did, and I gave her half of all of them. See, because she gave more, she got more. And I gave more and I got more. Because I would open these homes and I never had to go to them. Somebody else was doing the work. If you could have half of a very successful business, would you rather have half of a very successful business or 100% of a successful business if you have to do all the work yourself? I'd rather have half because, like I said, I have 22, right? So in my head I was thinking, okay, if I have half of 10, that's a lot better than the 2 or 3 that I can do on my own, right? So I'm telling you, if you think about giving more, you're gonna get more in every single thing that you did. That's just one example. I also opened a company that we're gonna talk about, I have a few minutes here, that we're gonna talk about. It's called the Owner Finance Company, okay? We have a booth out here, okay? The Owner Finance Company. I met these 2 ladies that wanted to learn about real estate and everything, and I told them what I was gonna open this company, the Owner Finance Company, and they wanted to be partners and everything, and they got half the company, I got half the company. We did like 10 million our first year. We doubled, I think. 2021, we did 16.7 million. 2023, we did double, 18.7 million, okay? I only go 1 hour a week to meet with them, to go over stuff for our board meeting. That's a company, okay? That company's doing super awesome. I could have never done that by myself, right? It's about giving more and not caring about the little things, right? Just helping other people. Is Christian here in the room somewhere? There he is, there's Christian. Stand up, Christian. Hey, this is Christian. He owns a rehab company, okay? So I've been doing my rehab. I started doing a lot more than normal last year. I think we did 77 houses last year. And because I had to get that residual, right? I'll tell you how we made a lot of money, but I've been doing that for, lots of years, right? I met Christian, he's one of those that gives more. He would get there, he'd come to the office, he wants to learn. He had just moved over here from New Jersey, and he wanted to learn about real estate and do more. And he was giving more than most people do. So what did I decide to do? Invest in people. So I told him, look, I'm gonna open this rehab company. And he said, okay. And I said, when you prove yourself in 12 months and everything, I'll give you half the company. He said, okay. He started working. The second day I said, I gave you half the company. So he owns half the company now. And we were profitable the first week. We'll do at least $1 million this year in profit, and it's gonna change his life forever. He already told me that he's never made as much money as we were already made in like the first month. We just opened this, the end of last year, really this year. So we bought like $4 million worth of properties our first month, have an estimated profit of 1.7 million. So this is what we do, give more, right? I can now scale. This year we're gonna do 200 fix and flips, right? I could only do 77 last year, right, by myself, but now I have somebody that can help run that, right? So the more you give, the more you're gonna get. So I just want to tell you, if you remember those 2 words, what were those words?
Give more.
I can't hear you, what was that?
Give more.
Give more. I'm telling you, if you give more, you're gonna get more. Let's make it a point to give more every day. Anything you do, give more. I'm telling you, when I start giving more, I'm going to give you examples because I want this to really sink in, because some of you might be thinking I'm crazy and don't believe me, okay? I'll give you an example. So they were talking about pre-foreclosures, right? They're talking about wholesaling and all that kind of stuff, right? So what I did is I taught people how to do wholesaling, right? For free. And then guess what those people did?
Well, you
They brought me all the deals. How else are you going to do 77 fix and flip properties with no marketing, no budget, zero marketing, zero budgeting? I don't knock on doors, I don't do anything, and I get unlimited deals every single week.
Wow.
By giving more, right? You help them out. There's people that want to be wholesalers. Is there anybody in this room that wants to be a wholesaler? That's looking at being a wholesaler? So I had people asking me they want to get into wholesaling. I'm not even a wholesaler, but I know how to do wholesaling, right? And I told them, okay, I'll show you how to do it. But some of the times the people that want to get into wholesaling might be scared. Why? Number one, because they don't have money. Number two, because what if they can't sell the deal after they tie the deal down? Right? Number three, because no one believes in them. So they don't believe in themselves. But I can solve that problem for anybody for free, because this is what I want to do. I want to pay it forward. I want to help other people. So I told them, look, I'm going to teach you how to wholesale. I'm going to give you all the money you need for your deals. So when you find a deal, I put the earnest money down for you. You don't need no money. I also guarantee to buy every single deal that you get. So you get the deal, I buy the deal from you. So you don't have to worry about how fast am I going to sell the deal either. And I believe 100% in you. If not, I won't put my money on you, right? Do you think they can be successful with that? Yeah, especially when I tell them, when you see a deal, you don't even have to look at the deal. This is my criteria. These are the numbers. When you see it, you make an offer. This is exactly what you say. I want to buy your house. I can close in 5 to 7 days. I want no option period, and I'm paying cash, and here's my bank statement. They were getting deals straight off MLS. They didn't even have to go nowhere. The first week of our class, one student made $5,000. They're in the room. Another student made $5,000. One student made $10,000. Okay, the first week knowing nothing about wholesaling. Okay? If you give more, you're going to get more. I'm trying to give and throw as much nuggets as I can out there now. Okay? When you're talking to somebody, if you want to get into wholesaling and you want to buy that house, this is what you do. When you talk to a client, you give more. So I call somebody up, they want to sell their house, right? Why? Because they're motivated seller. They need to sell their house for whatever reason. You do exactly the opposite of what every single person does. That's how I live my life. I do the opposite of what every single person does. I call that client up. That client tells me my house is worth $1 million, right? The house is falling down. You know, it's not worth whatever they think. I'm exaggerating, but maybe they say the house is worth like 250. You know the house is worth like 200, 220. So what do when you call them? No, your house is not worth 250, sir. Your house is worth 200. You know, it's falling apart. It's a piece of crap. You know, it probably needs to be demoed, right? What do I do when he tells me my house is worth 250? I say, sir, I'm gonna have to disagree with you. Honestly, I think your house is probably worth a little more than that. It's probably worth like 255. It just needs to be fixed up a little. There's a few little items in this house that if we fix these up, would you agree? That it would be able to get that value way up so you can get that top dollar. He's like, yeah, you're right. Hey, walk me through the house and show me some of the things you think I should fix on this house so I can sell it to get that max amount of value. I don't write nothing down. I let him walk. He walks me through the house. He's all excited. He shows me, look, if we can fix this, if we can fix that. I'm writing everything down, right? And then I'm like, sir, how much do you think it would cost to replace this flooring right here? And he would tell me and I would write it down. How much do you think it would cost to do this? And he would tell me, I'll write it down. Well, you know, there's water leaks and the roof is leaking. How much do you think it would cost to replace the roof? Oh man, those prices, they went up, but I know you could probably get it for like 8,000, whatever. I'm like, no, I got a guy who could probably do it for 7, right? What do you think happens at the end of that whole conversation? The guy loves me. He loves me because I agree with everything he's saying, and I'm gonna give more. And then at the end I add up everything, and I say, so you wanted to sell the house for how much? This much? And I was like, okay, well, when we subtract your prices, his price, I didn't come up with those prices, he gave me those prices. When I subtract those prices, it's almost what I wanted to pay for it. I can fix it for way cheaper, right? He don't know that. So, even if he doesn't, let's say that we're off by a little bit, then guess what I tell him? I say, look, after repairs and everything, we're off by about $15,000 or something, how long do you think it'll take for me to fix everything we just talked about? Painting, the plumbing, like all electrical, all the stuff that we talked about, air conditioning? Oh, I don't know, it's probably gonna take a few months. Okay. So I just want to ask you something. Do you think I do my job for free? Because I have kids, 3 kids, my wife, everybody, and this is how we make a living, this is how we pay our bills. What do you think would be fair for 2 months worth of my work to come over here, buy this house, take the risk, possibly being able to sell it for that price we talked about earlier? How much do you think I should make on this deal? What do you think is a fair number?
75.
You see what I'm saying? You're gonna get that deal. You're gonna get every single deal if you do one thing, what? Give more. If you give more, you're gonna get way more than you could ever imagine, guys. I give more. A lot of people are trying to sell their houses and they're trying to negotiate with realtors. Do we have any realtors in the room? Yep. All right, how many people try to negotiate with you? They're like, yeah, put like 2%, put like 1.5, 3%. You're doing it all wrong. Why do you think I get more deals from every realtors, everything, every single house sells as fast as possible? Because I give more. When I was doing new construction, I give away half my new construction company, so I don't even know what happens now. But back then when I was doing it, I would tell the realtors, I'll give you 6% plus a $3,000 bonus, you know what I'm saying? You're giving more. And guess whose houses they sell to everybody? Your houses, because you're giving more. And you're gonna always get more. The way I look at it is, I do no advertising, and I know everybody's gonna hate me because I don't do marketing, advertising, all that kind of stuff, but I figure I really give that money to the people. Give it to everybody, the ones that need it, right? So this realtor, because I give more, so all these realtors are always calling me all the time, and they called me and they said they had a client. This was last year, like at the beginning of the year. They said that the client was about to lose their house. They told me the situation, and they had like 4 or 5 days before the auction, right? The foreclosure auction, and she said if I could help her. And I said, yeah, I can help. Why not? I can, right? So I paid everything she owed on the house, bought the whole house, and then I turned around and sold the house back to the client. I sold the house back owner finance, right? Because she couldn't qualify for a loan or anything like that. She's in foreclosure, right? So I did that, and I did it for free. I didn't charge anything. I charged no fees or anything. Not even a week later, a realtor called me that person had told what I had done and said, I have a client and she has a house and she's losing it and she has like 7 days and the auction's already coming and she was in denial and now she don't know what to do, and she has a lot of equity and she's gonna lose the house. And I said, okay, I'll help her. She said that they had told her I could help her and I said, yeah, I'll do it. And she said, how much are you gonna charge? And I said, I'm not gonna charge anything. And she said, okay. And I did the deal. A few weeks later, somebody called me again. Another referral, somebody called me and they said that they have a client that's losing their house and they heard about me, that I help people that were losing their houses, which I had never done that before. Someone asked me and I said, okay, right? So then she said, but there's one thing. The client said she will not do it unless you charge for your services. Can you believe that? They would not do it unless I charge for my services. And I'm like, okay, well, I'll charge the same thing that we charge for anything, the loan origination fee, right? I'll charge a loan origination fee. See, most people, they want to steal all their equity. They want to offer them less. They want to like sell it to them for way more. And I said, I was going to do it for free, but I said, I'll do it for the loan origination fee, the same thing we charge on our website for any home when somebody buys a home from us, right? And she said, okay. So not to drag the story on, after that, I was doing 1 to 2 pre-foreclosures every single week all of last year, and I'm still doing them. And I do 0 marketing. I don't spend a penny on anything. They come to me. I don't call lists. I don't do anything. People just bring me all these clients because they know that I do what I say and I say what I do, and I'm fair. So I'm telling you, the more you give, the more you get. We started the company, the Owner Finance Company. Jen and Valerie back there. Okay, they have the booth out there in the back. Thank you for everything I do. Couldn't do it without them. And we decided to do something that no one else was doing. If y'all heard of owner financing, everybody else that does owner financing, you can look them up. the least expensive company out there adds 15% to the price of the house. So if you want to buy a house and you want to go through the program, owner financing, you find a house for $300,000, they're gonna buy it for $300,000 and sell it to you for $345,000, right? They're gonna add 15% plus the 5% loan origination fee plus the $2,500 application fee, and all that, right? The second company charges 20%, the third company charges 25%, and now there's another company charging 30% on top of what the house costs. Why? Because they know they have no other choice. They're taking advantage of the people like me that were in that situation. My dad couldn't buy a house because of his situation, right? So we help people get their house, and guess how much we add to the price of the home? 0. So if you go to the booth out there, the owner finance company, we're the only company out there that I know of that adds nothing to the price of the house. We have no application fee of $2,500. We don't add any of that junk fee. You can go pick any house you want, just like a bank. We get you a pre-approval letter within 24 hours. You pick the house you want, we buy it, we sell it to you, and we don't add anything to the price of the house. We charge our loan origination fee. That's what helps you become more successful, is when you give more, and help more people. And I'm telling you, I've been doing this, and I can be up here all day talking about all the benefits of helping other people, but it's not gonna matter unless you decide to do it. Unless you decide to give more. Because I'm telling you, when you give more, you're gonna get more, and you're also gonna feel way better. This is the purpose. This is what I found that my purpose was to give back, to give more, to help other people, so you can get to that level way faster. And I'm telling you right now, if I had more time, I would go into detail. I have a few seconds left, but if you're having trouble selling your houses, if you're having any kind of trouble you're having right now in the market, all you have to do is look into owner financing. Owner financing, it's in real estate and anything, it's supply and demand, right? Supply and demand. If you want to buy a house in this neighborhood and there's no houses for sale owner finance, but I can owner finance that house for you, that's supply and demand. It's a huge demand, but there's no supply. That's why when you sell your fix and flip owner finance, you're gonna get the highest price that you could possibly get for that, because you're not cheating them, it's supply and demand. They're gonna pay what they have to pay to get that. So I just ask you to join the 1% Club, Everything Real Estate. It's free, I'm not selling anything. If you go to that link, you can join for free. We do a free training once a month. It's networking, and then training, and then more networking. Thank you very much for having me here today, and always remember to do what? Give more.